Hi students, my name is Emma Reed. I am an 8th grade math teacher. Today we are continuing Unit 8 on the Pythagorean theorem and irrational numbers, and our topic is finding the side lengths of triangles, Part A. And the big question we're going to answer at the end of this lesson is, what do we know about the side lengths of triangles? Here I am on slide A, and we are working on our introduction/launch. So examine those 4 triangles, A, B, and C, and answer the question, which one doesn't belong? So your answer should sound like, triangle blank doesn't belong because, and you're going to mention something specific that stands out about the triangle you chose, and how the rest of the triangles are related to one another, making the triangle you picked stand out. So pause and think about your intro/launch activity, and then we'll move on together to our Explore section. This is the beginning of our Explore section on slide B, and the question we're going to answer based on this image of the triangle on a grid is, how can we find the values of the side lengths of this triangle? So pause and think about that question, and describe your thinking in the blue box. And then we'll move on to slide C. Now on slide C, we're given a little bit more information. You can see that a square has been drawn to help us answer these questions on the right. So the first question is, how do the added squares help to find the lengths of the sides? And what is the value of each side length? So pause and take some time to think and record your thinking here. And then we'll move on to slide D. On slide D, we have very similar images, right? We have some triangles on a grid, and we're going to complete the table for these 3 triangles. What do you notice about the values in the triangle for E, but not for triangles D and F? So in the table, you're going to show the side length for sides A, B, and C for each triangle, and the values for A squared, B squared, and C squared. And if you found it helpful to visualize the squares drawn for each side length, I created an applet, and I'll tell you the link so that you can get there and kind of play around with it in case that helps you interpret this question. So I'll show that now. So here is the applet that I created for you on a website called GeoGebra. So I'll enlarge the website here so you can get here as well. It's geogebra.org/m/nfarmw4w. And you can see that this applet has a triangle just like the triangle you have on your slide. And you can adjust the location of the vertices to match each of the triangles, so that you can kind of picture the lengths and the areas that you need to include on your slide. So as an example, it might be helpful to have your slides from Pear Deck or from Google Slides, whichever format your teacher is using, next to the applet. And you can look at the placement of side B, C, and A, and arrange it in the same way. And then think about the question that you're being asked, right? You need to figure out the side lengths for A, B, and C, and A squared, B squared, and C squared. So using the grid might help you come up with those values. Again, you don't have to use the applet, but just in case, it's helpful. So now we're back on slide D, and you're finishing up describing what you notice about the values in the table once you fill it out for triangle E, but not for triangles D and F. You can pause and enter your numbers and record your thinking here. And when you're ready, we'll move on to slide E. And on slide E, you're going to go through the same process. What do you notice about the values in the table for triangle Q, but not for triangles P and R? And you're recording those same values for each triangle as before. The side length for A, B, and C, and A squared, B squared, and C squared for each triangle. Again, if it helps you to use the applet, you can create those triangles yourself. Pause and think, fill in the table. And when you're ready, we'll move on to slide G. Slide G says, what do triangle E and triangle Q have in common? So you'll see these are the same triangles that you worked with on slides D and E. We have them all together, and we're looking for the similarity between triangle E and triangle Q. So you can pause and think about that one. And finally, moving on to slide H, our summarize section, where we're going to bring everything together. So to prepare for this summary, you're going to record your response to the focus question, which is, what do we know about the side lengths of triangles? And you want to think specifically about your experiences today and how they helped you answer that question. As always, you can use the space on the right to record any notes from this lesson that you want to remember for the future. Thank you for joining me. That's the end of our lesson for the day, and enjoy the rest of your day.